Because I am greater than 1, I make the graph narrower.
Because I am lower than 1 but greater than 0, I make the graph wider.
Because I am a positive absolute value, I open upward like the picture below.
Because I am a negative absolute value, I open downward like the picture below.
When I am simply being added to the absolute value function, I tell where to intersect the y-axis. Here it would be at 3.
When I am simply being subtracted from the absolute value function, I tell you where to intersect at the y-axis. Here it would be -4.
I describe the horizontal shift of the function, but be careful, I move the function in the opposite direction, so I'm moving the function 3 units left.
Whereas I am moving the function 4 units right.
So the function you see on the whiteboard here is an absolute value function, okay? So the function is y equals absolute value of x minus 6 plus 3. So how are we going to find the vertex of this function? So 3 right here would be the y-intercept, right, plus 3. And then this, which would be your x-axis, is -6. But since it's in the absolute value signs, it would take the opposite of what -6 is. So the opposite of -6 is 6. So it would be going right 6. And then you're going to get your handy dandy x, y equals table ready. And then you have your graph. And then we would use the x and y coordinates like this, x and y coordinates. And so since this is on the x-axis, you would use your +6 and then your y-intercept, which would be 3. And since you have this coordinate already plotted, you would just plot it on the graph. And that is the base of your vertex, or is your vertex. And then it would be 6, 3, and then you would just take the two following numbers after that, so that would be 5 and 7, and then you would just plug the x coordinates into the equation and then find your y values, and then you would find the function below. So let's solve 5 and 7 to be sure what the actual line is. So we have 5 minus 6 plus 3. So this would be -1. The absolute value of -1 is 1, plus 3 would equal 4.
Okay, let me stop you just for a second. What he was showing you all with the 6 and the 3 is how the graph will shift. Remember we talked about the graph shifting and transforming. So that -6 and +3, the -6 because it's on the inside of the absolute value bars actually shifts the graph in the opposite direction. He showed you where the vertex was so that you can see where the middle of the absolute value function will be. Keep going.
And this y-intercept would also be called the shift, the y-shift. So now since we've already found the 5 coordinates, which is x and y, let's find the 7. And most of the time it will mimic the 5, but just in case, always check your work. So you have 7 minus 6, absolute value bars, plus 3. The absolute value of this would be 1, plus 3 would equal 4. Then you would just plot it. And that would be your line.
Okay, so now notice, thank you all, notice how the graph shifts. That -6 told us that it's going to go from the origin.
0.
It's going to go from 0, 0. Put your pencil on 0, 0. Put your mark on 0, 0 for me. And that vertex is going to shift 6 to the right. And that +3 on the end tells you that it's going to shift 3 up. Everybody clear on that? So what he did shows us how to find the vertex, which will allow us to plot the function around the area where it is located. Do y'all have any questions for him?
Yeah, so the point that you plotted, not the 6-3, the other ones, they would be around that area.
Right. So he chose 5 and 7. Why did he choose 5 and 7? Right, because they're 4 before and after 6. Everybody clear? All right. Thank you.